Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of UFit TV. Today we're talking about why are you struggling to see fitness results? Why are you struggling to see the results that you want out of your fitness routine? Let's get started. So, obviously, all of us know that fitness is a journey, right? Fitness, just like with anything else in life, fitness is one of those things where if you don't teach yourself to learn the small things, if you don't teach yourself to understand the small components, if you don't teach yourself to love the small improvements that you see in your body and in your fitness and in your health, you're ultimately not going to reach your final destination goal. Fitness is not something that you can do for 30 to 60 minutes or 30 to 60 days or, even 30 years. Fitness is something that is a lifestyle and it has to be built into your routine in order to be able to maintain it. This doesn't mean that you're not going to go through ups and downs. This doesn't mean that you're not going to struggle. This doesn't mean that, it's just going to be the easiest thing, the easiest journey you've ever been on. I think at this point, most of us know that. But you have good days, you have bad days, you have good weeks, you have bad weeks, you have good months, and sometimes you have bad years. But sticking it out and living the healthy lifestyle will ultimately help you reach that fitness routine or that fitness lifestyle that you're looking for. So with all that being said, if you're not seeing results, if you're currently not seeing the results or the changes that you want out of your fitness routine, it usually breaks down to two major things. And before we talk about those things, please understand that you might be a little sensitive to these items. You might be a little sensitive to these topics. The point here is to help you understand why you're most likely struggling so that you can make the changes and get back on track as soon as possible. I am not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to tell you what you're doing wrong. I'm just trying to help you understand what changes you're going to have to make to see the results that you want. So, the two major reasons, there's only two that we're talking about today, the two major reasons why you're most likely struggling to see fitness success. I like to call them the two T's. Number one, you're not tracking, and number two, you're not trying. Now, I know you're probably thinking, you don't know me, you don't know, the struggles that I go through, you don't know how much I track, you don't know how hard I try, but hear me out for a second. Let's talk about tracking first, right? We talked about tracking a few weeks ago on one of our other episodes of what exactly should you track with your fitness routine, and then we talked about nutritional tracking and why that's the most important one to track. But with nutrition being the most important one that you track, that doesn't mean that you track 5 days a week and then do whatever you want on Saturday and Sunday. That doesn't mean that you can go out to eat multiple times on the weekends. It doesn't mean you can drink yourself under the table on the weekend. It doesn't mean that you can do a combination of both, eating out and getting completely obliterated. That is not what that means. What it means is that you are allotted to give yourself or to give your body one good cheat meal each week. Yeah, that means you can go out and you have a delicious carb-filled meal at any restaurant that you want, but you have to make sure that you get right back on track afterwards. It can't be one of those things where, I cheated on Saturday night and then I just rolled into Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon, I had a few more snacks on Monday, and then I was back on track Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning. That's not how that works. You've got to make sure you jump right back on track. You've got to make sure that you track the meal that was your cheat meal. You need to track that, not because it's necessarily going to be a game changer for you in knowing that information, but if you've told yourself, there's no way that meal was more than 2,800 calories. It probably was more than 2,800 calories in the one sitting. So you have to track that. You've got to track that information. You need to know what you're putting into your body so that you know how much output you've got to put out, or how you can adjust that so it's not so bad for you next weekend, so that you can start seeing the success and the changes and the results that you want. How much water are you drinking? A lot of people in general, do a great job drinking water throughout the week, but then on the weekend it's like, oh, you mean alcohol doesn't hydrate me? No, it doesn't. So you've got to track your water. You've got to be consistent with your water. You've got to make sure you get plenty of water throughout the entire weekend as well. If you're drinking a gallon a day, Monday through Friday, you can't drink 2 bottles on Saturday, Sunday. your body's going to be completely thrown off. It needs a consistency. Did your activity level go up or down? You need to know these things on the weekends. That this is another area that you need to know, because if you work out 3 days a week, but then you have a desk job, and it's the only thing you've done, and then all weekend you sit around and you don't do anything, your body's going to need more activity. It's going to need more movement. You've got to get up and move. You've got to go. You've got to track that activity. How much movement are you doing versus are you not doing? There's truly so many things that we can talk about when it comes to tracking, but if you're already tracking most of the time, make it all of the time. I'm not saying that this is forever. I'm not saying that this is something that is going to be, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be tracking every little thing I do. No, that's not. Once you reach your goal, this gets much, much easier to manage in your overall fitness lifestyle. But I even use tracking. When I feel like I've got off track, when I feel like that I'm at a point to where I'm kind of frustrated with the changes that I'm seeing, I will start tracking to help me focus and get motivated again to get back on track with my fitness routine or my fitness results. Now, the last one that we're going to talk about today is trying. Why you aren't trying. Now, think with me for 1 second. When I say that you're not trying, I don't mean you're literally not doing anything. What I'm saying is you aren't doing enough. I am saying that you aren't making the necessary sacrifices, the necessary changes, the necessary improvements to see the success in your fitness routine that you want. First, you can't just show up to the gym. Oddly enough, the gym does not burn the calories for you. You burn the calories at the gym for yourself. You have to work, and you have to work hard. You have to push yourself, not just physically, but also mentally, to get your body to change. You have to push past the pain and the soreness. You have to push past the fear of failure. So many of us are afraid of failing. We're afraid of not seeing that result. We're afraid of not reaching that goal. We're afraid of, what are my friends going to think? What are my family going to think if I truly invest all this time, energy, and money into my health and fitness and then I just fail? You've got to stop fearing that so much. You've got to push yourself past that. You have to lay it all out at the gym. You've got to lay it all out at the gym. And when you get out into your workout, you got to be honest with yourself. If you can honestly say every single time you got done working out, I don't think I could have pushed myself any harder, then you're there. But if you leave the gym and you're like, oh, I probably could have pushed myself harder on those 2 exercises, on those 3 exercises, probably could have pushed myself harder all week, then you're not there. And you've got to push yourself. You've got to push harder. You've got to have more effort. You've got to try harder. You have to put in effort when you miss a workout. Your body needs 150 minutes of exercise per week at a minimum. So if you're not there, you've got to get there. And if you're already there, you've either got to work out harder, you've got to push yourself harder during those 150 minutes, or you've got to work out longer. So you've got to try harder to get extra time in. You've got to try harder to get a more difficult workout in, right? It's easier for us to fake. It's easiest for us to fake that, oh, that workout was so hard, I'm so sore, and then wake up the next day and feel fine. Because in the moment, mentally, we allowed our bodies to give up on us because we thought it was hard, or we thought it was going to be hard. You have to focus on what's going right. Too many times I hear people say, but I lost weight, but what? If you made an improvement and you aren't happy with that improvement, figure out how you can make a better improvement next week. Don't sit like a bump on a log the whole next week and feel sorry for yourself or be mad at yourself or angry or frustrated with yourself because you didn't see the result last week that you wanted. Stop thinking about last week and start thinking about this week. Start thinking about next week. What can I do this week, next week, the following month to make sure that I'm seeing the changes each and every week that I want to see? You have what it takes. I know for some of you this is hard to hear, but you have what it takes to see the results that you want. You have it physically, you have it mentally. Every single one of us has the ability to track. Every single one of us has the ability to try. I even argue that athletes at the top of their game, if they got second, third, fourth place, etc., if they got anything but first place, they could have tried harder. They could have put out more effort. They could have practiced longer. They could have taken those extra 10, 20 shots. They could have gone on that extra run. They could have done whatever it took. We're all guilty of not tracking and not trying at some point in time in our fitness routine or in our life. But if you truly want the improvement, if you truly want the change, if you truly want to be fit and love who you are and love the way you look, then you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I doing whatever it takes to reach this goal? Because if you're not, if you feel like inside that you are not, then that is your answer. You're truly not. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you haven't been able to check us out yet, it's ufitindy.com. It's the letter UFIT, INDY.com. Give us a call, give us an email, 317-886-8133, or email us at info@ufitindy.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Next week, we're going to be talking about, does our mindset really matter? How does it play a role in us seeing fitness results and fitness success? If you need anything, let us know. Otherwise, see you next week.